Today we're going to venture off onto a different path. Um, you can believe the words that I'm about to say, or you can call me crazy. It's fine. I don't really give a shit what you think. I'm going to tell you anyways. My name is number 42. It's the only name I've ever known since I was created a few trillion years ago. Um, it's created in a lab using archaic, well, lack of a better term, magic and computer technology. Uh, Basically a false soul programmed, something like that. I mean, I guess I'm a real soul now. It's been a long time. I went from galaxy to galaxy finding planets with large amounts of soul energy, life, and I would consume all living matter. And if I got lucky, the planet itself was a living creature, like the one you walk on. I'm number 42 of 100 experiments, and I'm the only one to ever have been set free. My brothers and sisters are some of the most dangerous beings that time, space, in any dimension and universe could ever dream of. And I pray that they never see the light of day, as much as I love them, because they are the only family I have outside the ones I've made here. Now, one day, I was traveling towards your galaxy, the Milky Way, and I found your planet, and it was suitable for consumption. And as I approached, a bright flash of light had stricken me, and I died that day. Now, it's kind of odd to me, considering I'm immortal. I was a machine, metal body, uh, super advanced AI. I only had one job. I didn't know anything else. Go to planet, consume, move on. After a while, it had been spoken in legends about more advanced civilizations that noticed planets being barren of life. They could have been the ones, but I have a strong feeling that um, what I'm about to tell you is what killed me. And here's a fun fact. You can still see my body today if you look at the moon. I scarred it. I was right in front of it when I died, and that's the only thing I can think of is I left a scar on the face of the moon. The imprint of my body, a shadow. A body that was never supposed to be able to be destroyed anyways. The kind of metal and technology and labor that went into that. So, after I died, I found myself in the worst place you could ever find yourself ever, which is pandemonium. And please don't fucking quote shit from fucking Sabrina or anything else. Pandemonium is a place of no time. You cannot die and move on. You can only come back as what you were. Um, my body had been destroyed. I was a. But I did have a vessel when I was in Pandemonium. Uh, a man. Humanoid like. I spent 2,000 years in Pandemonium, and I seen things that the mind has no words for in any language or any part of the galaxy. I've met some beings. I learned a lot of things and died lots. And when you die in Pandemonium, you feel it as they tear into your flesh and rip you apart. You feel every scrape and scratch and cut. until you were nothing more than a pile on the floor, and then resurrected a few seconds later, somewhere, randomly, in pandemonium. There's no up, no down, there's no oxygen, there's no need to worry about eating or anything like that. It is purely a place of pure mayhem. It's where people or creatures are sent when they are uncontrollable. It's a place of punishment and damnation. Um, After about 2,000 years of that shit, I had a vivid dream. I'm a human baby sitting on the lawn. Nice houses, they all look the same. They're all like this yellowish, 90s. Goddamn, why did they think that was a nice color for a house? Yellow. Um, and a man in a dark suit, glasses, clean cut, not too thin, not too big, sharp, but older, came to me, grabbed me by my hand, and we went into this house. And inside the house, it was not a house, but a giant, like almost office building. And we walked towards an elevator. There were people already in the elevator, but it went down a little bit. We stood on top of the roof of the elevator. He smiled at me, holding my hand. I heard people underneath screaming and crying out, suffering in pain, and the elevator went down. But it crushed them inside. And I could hear someone calling out, "It's your mother. It's me, your mother. Help me. Save me." I could see their hands molding through the metal as they tried to climb out, as they tried to escape this fate that they had. And then the door opened and a bright light hit me and I was born. That was the very first memory I have ever. And it was the day I was born. I don't, to this day, I've never known what to make of it. That's my first memory. But lived a weird. I guess I lived an average life for the most part, other than the mental and physical abuse that I had to go through at the hands of people. I had no one ever to defend me. I really didn't know how to defend myself. 25 years later, after all kinds of things happened to me, I was sitting on the computer playing League of Legends, and I was hit. My whole body felt like I got hit by a force of energy, like an explosion. It hit me so fucking hard. I literally started crying. I couldn't help it. Just could not help it. It felt so. I don't know how to describe it. It's like being next to a fucking nuclear blast, but you don't die. And ever since then, my life has been just fucking crazy. Like, not so much things happening, but my mind changing. Um, I'm starting to understand more. I'm starting to see things for what they really are, and You could say that's psychosis, but I say you're wrong. I'm a very intelligent person. I very analytical about things, almost to a fault sometimes. Um, there are strange forces at work in our universe, and all it takes is a little bit of time to look, and you will see all that needs to be seen. When I was 21, oh no, 23. Sorry, when I was 23 though, I began training as a shaman because I had a another dream. Standing in a field. Oh, think it was like a big strip, and it's surrounded on either side was trees and natives, Native Americans, maybe even some other ancient tribes of Earth and descent surrounded me, and a man, an elderly man, they separated in front of me, and he stood before me, not saying a word, no smile, no frown, no nothing, just plain calm face. And he placed his hand upon my forehead, and I gently levitated backwards until my face was looking up towards the sky. And they all looked down on me, not with hostility, not with anything, just they looked. Just almost like they're curious to see what happens next. And my soul shoots out of my body and into the sky, and I see the universe, planets, galaxies, dimension, people of nobility on Earth, and stuff like that. It's like I'm being programmed with everything that I need to know, showing everything I need to know, and being told things like a lot of shit that I've believed in since I was a little kid is honestly true. Um, so after that, I kind of did a little reading, and I just came to the conclusion that I was being told to maybe not so much become a shaman, but to seek out spiritual shit like that. I figured, hey, it's something I like. I've always been into the whole shaman culture and shit like that. It's right up my alley. So I started training, started studying, and started practicing and trying to communicate with the other side and all kinds of stuff. And now I sit here. Now I'm 33 years old. And I behold upon you the precipice of darkness descending upon Earth. A lot of forces are at play, and they want this planet back. You understand that what we walk on is a living, breathing, heart beating, big brain thinking creature. This planet is a real, live creature, a being, and she loves you. You may think that you're a pest or a parasite upon the face of the planet, but if she thought for even 1 second that she didn't want to tolerate your existence, it would take a nanosecond for her to destroy all of us. It'd be a brief thought, and we would all die. Um, I come to find out that a lot of things that people have learned are just falsehoods and lies and deceit, all to trick them into giving up their soul, who they are, who you are. The body that you walk in is not who you are as a vessel. Who you are is an electrical signal pulsating throughout that body. You're a living thing inside of another living thing. And we require these structures to be able to do the tasks that we need, physical tasks. Now, you might ask yourself, well, if that's true, what about metaphysical tasks? Tasks that can't be done with a physical body. That's where magic comes in. I hate the word, I really do. Magic, chi, chakra, kai, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same. Okay? It's all the same. It is the ability to use one's mind to manipulate matter around them. And it's really simple because honestly, everything, even the everything, is all made up of the same shit. It's all made up of a couple neurons and protons smashed together, vibrating at a certain frequency, at a certain density. They're packed a certain way, they're shaped a certain way. DNA, everything. Everything you just look down on the sub molecular level and you will see everything is made of the same fucking thing. Now, that being said, since we are made of all the same shit, then you should be able to interact with it in various ways. Like, walking through a wall shouldn't be fucking hard, because you and it are exactly the same way. All you need to do is tell your body to vibrate in a certain frequency so you can pass through unharmed. It takes practice. You don't need to do chants and spells and all that shit to do anything. Now here's the thing. Doing a chant or maybe doing a ceremony before a certain big activity or something like that, that is all personal. That's all personal. You can't go and grab grandma's grimoire because unless it's in English or she taught you specifically what her gibberish means, it won't do anything for you. You can go online and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on these people's grimoires. It won't do you any good unless you know what the incantations are for and about. Most of us write our shit in a different language, our own symbology, because it's what our brains and our bodies and our souls vibrate on. It's our own language. It's a way to tap into our subconscious and manipulate what we need to. Now, it can be very important to come up with these and feel them out and think about what your body wants to communicate to the world around you. Some people can't do everything, but eventually, with enough time, practice, and training, you can. Not everyone's going to be able to fly at first, but eventually, with enough persistence, you will be able to. Like, you know, the whole fucking Harry Potter shit. Oh, he's a magic born, but he can't do magic. That's nonsense. That's all mental blockage right there. It's all mental blockage. Unless somebody casts a goddamn spell on you that's hardcore, like has been cast upon all of humanity in this galaxy itself, you won't be able to. Some people will be like, I can do magic, I can do this, I've been able to do that. Now, you might be powerful enough to, at a point, manipulate matter around you to a certain degree. But all that tells me is, yeah, you're probably a really strong person. And when you do get your powers back, you could probably do a lot. But magic is literally impossible right now. Like, some people practice blood magic, but I call it coward's magic. That blood magic is nothing more than stealing life essence from whatever you drain the blood from and using it as a sacrifice to manipulate matter around you. That's cheating. And awful. A horrible thing to do. Even if you're using your own blood, you are damaging your soul. You're literally taking chunks and pieces of your own energy and sacrificing it. Eventually, you will die. And you won't have an afterlife because you won't exist anymore. There's a reason throughout the universe necromancy is frowned upon. Frowned upon. But not all forms of necromancy. Okay? But bringing people back from the dead is a no-no. Always and forever. You never, never, ever, ever try to bring back someone from the dead. Once they're gone, they're gone. Get over it. It's hard. It sucks. And you know how many fucking people I've lost or had die in front of me? How much I've cried? But there's not a goddamn fucking thing I can do about it. And I had to live with that fact. Yeah, I could try to perform a spell and bring them back, but there's no guarantee I'd bring them back or if they even want to come back. They could be having the time of their lives, or they could be eternally suffering. Honestly, it's their fault. Whatever they've wound up in. You make the choice of where your soul goes to. Now, speaking of which, my soul was pulled out of pandemonium by one Lucifer Morningstar as a last-ditch effort. He needed somebody to spread the truth, to break this curse upon everybody's mind, and for you to understand that he did not try to harm humanity, that instead he did everything in his power to defend humanity at its brink of execution. Your supposed God, Yahweh, the Christian whatever, is not what he appears, not what he tells you. It's none of that. You may think miracles have happened in your life. They're just gestures to convince you that he's doing you good. He's not very strong, but he can manipulate things to a point. But especially with the magic barrier that's around our galaxy, you know, even he is limited. He is nothing better than what I was, a devourer of souls. But he's even more selfish, because he only wants it for him, and he wants to live forever. He's afraid to die, like most of us. Because even the universe itself, the plane of existence that we walk through, has no idea what happens when you die. That is a complete and total fucking mystery. The truth of our deaths on any planet throughout the universe is a complete and total fucking mystery. Nobody knows what happens when you die. Actually die. I don't mean coming back and being reincarnated because you didn't finish your goal, or you went to hell because you're a fucking piece of shit, or wherever. You know, some people do go to certain places when they die based on their faith. But actual, true death. No faith-based. You've been a good person. You did everything. You dotted your I's and whatever, crossed your T's and all that shit. And then you die. And nothing comes to interfere with you. We don't know what happens. We've seen the entities that take care of that plane of existence. The Grim Reapers, the Valkyrie, shit like that. You know? Yeah. Um, but I am, from the day I was born to this day now, am the son of one Lucifer Morningstar and Gaia Wormwood. They are my parents, as far as I see. Maybe they didn't create my soul or did anything to like that, but they are the ones that saved me from eternity of torture. And all they ask is that I spread the word, a true word, the truth of existence. So humanity can finally pull themselves out of the squalor that they have dug themselves in and finally realize how special they are, how beautiful the human species really is, and how strong we are. So strong. We were created as a slave race to harvest minerals from this planet. No evolution, no God, just aliens with an agenda and a planet full of resources and almost nothing living on it. There's a few animals, some cave dwellers that have been slowly evolving over a few millions of years. So you know what they do? They wipe out those cave dwellers, harvest DNA, take some of their own DNA, mix it around, and they come out with what they suppose is a good slave race. Okay? It might sound odd, but like Sumerians, Mayans, Egyptians, Aztecs, and so forth and so on, are all from the same planet. They're just from different islands, kind of like our own. You know, everybody has their own thing going on, their own culture, their own way of doing shit, their own belief system. But at the end of the day, they figured out something that we never did. That we're all in it together. So they created us. They didn't enslave their own people. That's fucked up. You don't do that to your own people. Even if you don't just agree with their own opinion or their own thought process, you don't hurt them over it. It's barbaric. But you can create life to serve you. But funny thing is, they fucked up. See, Gaia, what they didn't know was Gaia was watching this whole time, the planet itself. And it let what happened happen because it needed certain things to happen. It saw the process of what was happening and saw opportunity. So I let my cave dwellers die. They were going to evolve, but it was going to take so long for them to become anything worthwhile as a species. If she had let the cave dwellers evolve naturally, we would still honestly be in like the 1300s, 1200s as far as technology and housing and everything goes. But look at us now. Look at us. We're so advanced. And we're holding ourselves back, too. It's funny. Um, what else? I'll end the stream with this for right now. Give me a second here. I gotta compile my thoughts. So oddly as it might sound, I am being told what to say for the most part. Not all of it, but I have my restrictions. Let's just be careful about what you poke your nose into. Be careful. Don't ever. If you are hiking, hitchhiking, do not accept a ride from anyone you do not know. Do not. I repeat, do not accept rides from anyone you do not know. It may sound like common fucking sense, but you'd be surprised. In the next few years, people are gonna go missing in the dozens. Okay? There are people who are trying to get shit to be their way because right now we're in a funk. Because the spell that's supposed to keep us from being able to use our full potential is wearing out, and because nothing is forever. You can't take reality and bend it to your will and expect it to stay that way. Eventually, reality tells you to go fuck yourself and goes back to doing what it's doing. So we will be restored our gifts, and it will be a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous time because there are very bad people in this world, and they don't mind being bad. They love it. They love hurting others. They love it. Makes them feel good because they're fucking rotten. Not everybody. They're not people in my eyes. They're demons, and they took over those bodies a long time ago. And I don't mean like demons from hell because there's all kinds of interdimensional beings, demons. Okay, a lot of aliens that show up on our planet are just from around the bend. They're just from an alternate reality where they have mass control of this planet. And they're trying to get control of this planet or our reality so they have even more resources. Because they're greedy. You know? There's, they're just lazy, greedy little shits. So, be careful. And always keep an open mind. Even my favorite saying is every lie begins with the truth. And on that note, I bid you adieu.